Good morning again, everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to be here talking to you. It's not entirely how I'd imagined my first AGM. I did hope to see you all in a packed room, but such are the times. For me, this is a bit of a homecoming to the CBA. The CBA was where I had my first job in archaeology back in 1996. I worked on the 20th century defences and fortifications in the United Kingdom, and then the Defence of Britain project, which at its heart, reflected the core CBA aspirations about getting people involved in archaeology. I subsequently spent time at the Cambridge Archaeological Unit and then Historic England, where I really did actually start to get to grips with actually how we can promote archaeology for everyone, how everyone can get involved in heritage and the management of the historic environment. And really that's always been my aspiration and my guiding light. Heritage and archaeology is really for everyone. Anyone can have a go at it. Anyone can partake in it. And so coming back to the CBA now is for me a real pleasure, because I've got an opportunity for us to build towards that and really use the power and the reach and the impact of the CBA to actually have make a real difference. Obviously, looking back at 2020, we can't escape the events that have actually happened, and it's been a real challenge. I didn't actually make it into the office for about 5 months because of lockdown. It was immediately all working from home. The team were absolutely fantastic in turning our work and our content online, putting out information to help people. We immediately created an archaeological resources hub. With work from one of our trustees, Professor Carenza Lewis. We created Dig School to actually help those children who were the children of key workers who were still at school. And we obviously did a lot of work through our young archaeologist clubs to try and keep them active, although again, working from home. Our biggest challenge though was with the Festival of Archaeology in 2020. Absolutely critical was what we were going to do in July, and we weren't able to host an on-the-ground festival, so it went entirely digital. Our aspiration is that we'd all be back out active in October, so we decided to have a part 2 festival. And as we all know, we weren't quite as open and able to do events then as we'd have liked to have been. But the festival was really fantastic, and it really showcased just how committed our colleagues and our groups and our supporters are with the number of events and activities that actually happened, and just how creative you can be when you actually put your minds to it online. The events of 2020 and the response to it really, for me, highlighted the core aim and objectives of the CBA, and certainly now moving forwards in terms of producing a new core vision and a new business plan, we're going to be placing the role of championing archaeology and championing the public participation in archaeology at the heart of everything we do. It is the most important thing to the CBA, and through that, the members are a critical part. Our groups and our affiliate groups and our supporters really reflect who we are and what we want to try and achieve. So we have a clear mission, we have a clear goal, but what are we actually going to do around that? Well, we are in the process of actually crafting a new business plan for the next 3 years, and we really have set out 5 simple propositions that we want to focus on. The first is participation, and it's participation through our groups, our members, affiliates, and supporters. This is really about you. This is about saying anyone and everyone can have a go at archaeology. And how do we stand up for that and ensure that actually happens? And again, this has really started to transform the way we look and we talk to our members and our groups, and how we actually support archaeological societies and groups and history and heritage groups up and down the country. 2020 has actually shown us what we can do and how far we can reach. We've hosted a whole series of in-conversation lunchtime discussions about topics ranging from how to run a Zoom AGM to actually how you might get back out and active again. And what's really impressed me by these events is just how far we can reach in doing that. I hosted one of the lunchtime in conversation sessions, and at a Zoom meeting, I had people who were attending from Northern Ireland, from Northumberland, from Devon, from Yorkshire, and from the east of England. It was really quite extraordinary. In just 1 hour, I covered almost all of the country. I couldn't do that driving around. It would take several days. So yes, Zoom has its downfalls, but it also actually helps us connect, and that's really vitally important for the CBA. Our second area of participation is about youth engagement. Again, really critical that the CBA has a strong voice on youth engagement and youth participation. We've got great foundations. Our Young Archaeologists Club is one of our really fantastic projects, and the way we actually can use it and grow it is going to be critical in the months and the years to come. We want to stretch YAC into a whole series of engagements for young people aged 8 to 25, which will include career development, early career progression, and actually how we can give young archaeologists a strong and clear voice. Why does the CBA exist? Well, we exist because we deliver public benefit. And this is really important for the CBA to demonstrate that public benefit. Indeed, it's easy to point that we've been doing it for over 75 years now. Founded in 1944, at the end of the Second World War, we were there to campaign for the archaeology that was going to be needed in order to help the country recover and rebuild after the war. That campaigning element has always been really strong in the heart of the CBA, and it's something we mustn't lose. We've always had a really strong case for publication, for actually getting across the reports and the ideas of archaeologists. And again, this issue doesn't go away. We've seen government responses, government proposals to amend the planning system that really puts at risk archaeology's role within development. We're there fighting with our partners to ensure archaeology remains at the heart of the planning process. But even last week, we had news that the government, through the Office of Students, is looking to actually change the way funding is allocated to university departments, with archaeology being identified as a high-cost subject that's in line to see student support cut by 50%. We'll certainly be in there with partners such as University Archaeology UK, fighting to ensure that archaeology isn't cut back, and that its place and its role within society, within development, and the skills needed are actually recognised and essential. But it's more than just public benefit. It's actually social value that archaeology delivers. Really critically, archaeology can speak to many, many subjects, and it can actually help and influence people in many ways. We run every year the Marsh Archaeology Awards, and one of the applicants this year had a testament statement accompanying their application. That was a statement by a member of the public about how they felt getting involved in an archaeological project. They said they were furloughed in June 2020, and that they'd been furloughed in March 2020, and that by June they were bored and housebound. They'd seen an advert on Facebook for volunteers to take part in a local dig. They'd never actually excavated before. They found they had such a good time, they ended up going back and doing 2 to 3 days a week for nearly 8 weeks. And their testament said, in their mind, that archaeological excavation was a lifesaver during lockdown. It connected them to people in their community, it connected to their community itself. And what I liked was the idea that it stoked their interest in history and the history that was on their doorstep. These are core values for the CBA: local heritage, getting people connected, getting people to participate in archaeology. It's really, really critical that we demonstrate the impact of this work and the impact of actually participating. We know there are other subjects and other areas where we can contribute in terms of social diversity and inclusion. And also, we can actually have impacts in the most surprising ways. As part of our Part 2 Festival of Archaeology, we decided to try some self-guided activities. One of them was a local explorer bingo challenge. We put it out and basically we suggested 20 things you could go and spot in your local area. 3 months later, we ended up seeing letters in The Guardian with people saying how much they'd enjoyed doing it, but how they were challenged in trying to find horse mounting steps. And lo and behold, for 3 days, there were subsequent letters in The Guardian about where people could go and find them. That is the reach and impact of the CBA. Simple ideas can be transformed into really compelling and diverse activities. Our fourth area we need to focus on are skills and resources. This is really important for the CBA. At present, we have a multitude of web platforms and a multitude of messages that we need to bring together in a more coherent way. We need to update our digital infrastructure so that we can better serve the needs of members and our supporters. We really want to place you at the heart of our conversation. So investing in our own resources and our own skills is absolutely essential, because that way we will be able to better help you and better demonstrate the impact of our work. This is a huge piece of work for us at the moment, and we're really grateful that we've had the support from the Culture Recovery Fund to do this. And why is this important? Well, when we get it right, our impact is truly amazing. This slide just shows you some of the statistics from the festival in 2020. This year, we only had 351 events. That's 2/3 less than what we'd normally have in a normal festival. But those 351 events generated over 500,000 participants. And when you look at our digital reach, so how far our message was going on social media, there are in the region of 24 million interactions with the content that we actually put onto the internet and onto electronic media. Overridingly, people want to partake again. They want to come back, they like what we actually do. So we've got a really strong voice, we've got a really good message, and we've got a message about engaging and taking part that people really welcome. I'm hugely grateful to all the staff at the CBA for the efforts they've put in this year, and to Ken as Chair of Trustees and all the trustees for the support they've actually shown us. And I think what you'll see from this is we are in good steads to move forward, and hopefully you'll see in the coming year a real transformation in actually how we represent the work you all put in as supporters of archaeology in the United Kingdom. Thank you.